slate in the most literal sense, containing every possible image in potential, but no actual image. Philosophically, it represents infinite possibility, concepts of crisp lines, dramatic lighting, vibrant palettes, and digital brushwork. It shifts the entire rendering process away from looking like a photo or an oil painting. Composition emergence. Around the halfway point, the AI solves basic glowing synthetic implants. The falling specks resolve into 5-petal cherry blossoms. The spark. Every creation begins with a desire. A human has an internal vision, a feeling, a scene, a character. The act of translating this nebulous idea into a prompt is the first act of creative direction. The prompt, a majestic cyberpunk samurai standing in a neon-lit rain, cherry blossoms falling, digital art, is not a command, but a set of coordinates. It's the user saying, navigate the vast universe of possible images to this region. Deconstruction. The AI, typically a model like Stable Diffusion or DALL-E, does not understand language as we do. It sees the prompt as a sequence of tokens, chunks of words or sub-words. It breaks down cyberpunk into a concept distinct from steampunk, and majestic into a quality separate from menacing. This tokenization is how the AI begins to pass the user's intent into machine-readable signals. Conceptual mapping. Each token activates a specific pattern within the AI's latent space. Imagine a galaxy where every star is a visual concept. The star for samurai is gravitationally linked to stars for armor, katana, and Japan. The cyberpunk star is neon, futuristic, and dystopian. The AI's training on hundreds of millions of image-text pairs has built this map. The prompt effectively draws a constellation, linking these conceptual stars together. Summoning the noise. The visual process starts at the opposite end of clarity, with pure, random visual static, Gaussian noise. This is the primordial chaos, a blank slate in the most literal sense, containing every possible image in potential, but no actual image. Philosophically, it represents infinite possibility. Guidance system engages. The core AI model, often a U-net architecture within a diffusion model, springs into action. Its sole purpose is to answer one question iteratively. Given this noisy image and the text prompt, what is a slightly less noisy version that looks more like the prompt? 6. The first denoising pass. The first step is crude. The model might detect that certain patches of noise have statistical similarities to broad shapes or warm versus cool color fields. It's making a guess in the dark. Cross-attention. The magic bridge. This is the pivotal technical mechanism. The AI has attention layers that act like a spotlight. When processing the image, it constantly references the text tokens. It asks, does this particular patch of pixels I'm looking at right now have anything to do with the token neon? With cherry blossoms. It then amplifies the pixel patterns that align with relevant tokens and diminishes those that don't. This is the moment the text truly begins to guide the image. The first denoising pass. The first step is crude. The model might detect that certain patches of noise have statistical similarities to broad shapes or warm versus cool color fields. It's making a guess in the dark. Iterative refinement. The AI doesn't paint in one stroke. It works in a loop of denoising steps. Each step, or iteration, removes a layer of noise and adds a layer of structure, moving incrementally from noise blurry abstraction recognizable forms detailed picture. This is akin to a sculpture emerging from a block of marble, chip by chip. Style infusion. The token, digital art, isn't a subject, it's a style descriptor. It pulls from the latent space's understanding of aesthetics from platforms like ArtStation or DeviantArt, concepts of crisp lines, dramatic lighting, vibrant palettes, and digital brushwork. It shifts the entire rendering process away from looking like a photo or an oil painting. Composition emergence. Around the halfway point, the AI solves basic geometry. It uses learned principles of composition, often placing a central subject like a samurai near the rule of thirds lines. The figure-ground relationship solidifies, a horizon might appear. The scene has a foundational layout. Feature specification. Abstract shapes become concrete attributes. The humanoid shape becomes a human in armor, The armor integrates traditional Japanese plates with glowing synthetic implants. The falling specks resolve into 5-petal cherry blossoms. The AI is now assembling known visual components from its training. Atmosphere application, global modifiers like neon lit and rain applied as overarching filters. The lighting scheme shifts, shadows take on electric blue and hot pink hues. The texture of the entire image gets a fine, streaked overlay to simulate rain. The mood is now being set. Detail crafting. In the final denoising steps, the AI focuses on high-frequency details. It adds scratches to the metal, individual threads to clothing, gradients to the neon glows, and subtle translucency to the petals. This is where the image transitions from a good draft to a finished piece. Coherence check. An internal, almost intuitive, sense of physics is applied. The AI ensures the neon light correctly tints the side of the samurai's face. The blossoms fall in front of the figure, not melded into it. The rain seems to fall perspectively. This coherence is a result of learning from millions of real, coherent images. Ambiguity resolution. The prompt leaves infinite choices. The AI makes statistically probable ones based on its training data. The samurai's face might be stern and neutral, a common, average, in the latent space. The pose might be a standard heroic stance. This is where the AI's inherent bias and the style of its training data become visible. Convergence. The denoising loop is programmed to stop. The noise has been reduced to a predetermined threshold. The image is now stable, further steps would no longer significantly change it. The structure is complete. Upscaling. The reveal many models generate a base image at a lower resolution, e.g., 512 by 512 pixels. A separate super-resolution model takes over. It doesn't just stretch pixels, it hallucinates new, plausible details. It invents finer weave in fabric, more complex city lights in the background bokeh, and intricate patterns on the armor that weren't visible at lower resolution. Final polish. Post-processing cleans up. It might sharpen edges, enhance contrast to make the neon pop, or correct color saturation. The goal is a visually pleasing, ready-to-display file. Output. The process culminates in a static file, a PNG. The digital artifact is born. The journey from token to pixel is complete within the machine. Human review. The creator sees the image. This moment is filled with anticipation, curiosity, and critique. The machine's part is done, the human's part re-engages. Interpretation and judgment. The human brain performs its own cross-attention, comparing the internal vision to the external output. The judgment isn't just right, wrong. It's, this is cooler than I imagined, or, the face is wrong, but the atmosphere is perfect. Aesthetic and emotional evaluation is a uniquely human step. Creative collaboration. A dynamic is established. The human is the director and curator, providing high-level vision and taste. The AI is the infinite production studio, capable of rapid exploration, generating variations, and combining concepts in novel ways. It offloads the technical execution, freeing the human to focus on intent and selection. Contextualization. Art exists in a context. The image is posted, printed, or used in a game. It enters the cultural bloodstream, where it is viewed, interpreted, and judged by others. Its meaning is no longer just between the creator and the AI. The refinement loop, optional. This is where AI art becomes a true conversation. The human, now informed by the AI's first interpretation, refines their language, same samurai, but closer up, looking weary, with a cracked helmet, cinematic lighting. They have learned how to speak to the model more effectively. The new canvas. This final step is profound. This new image, a product of human-AI collaboration, may be scraped into the training datasets of future AI models. Thus, the cycle feeds itself. AI art inspires humans, who make new prompts, which create new AI art, which trains new AIs. The latent space of human creativity is forever expanded, not just by us, but by our reflections in the machine. In essence, this 25-step story reveals that AI image generation is not a magical replacement for human artists, but a complex translation engine and collaborative partner. It is a dialogue where human language meets machine learning, and together, they navigate from the chaos of noise to the order of meaningful, visual art.